Hello out there, we're on the air from OCC Stadium. This is Flames Baseball on Team Line. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm Eric Moon. Morgan Chapman and Brandon Ross are both on assignment tonight. The Flames come into this one against the Syracuse Saltcats, winners of 2 in a row and 8 of their last 11 since 2 weeks ago from 2 weeks ago today. Now, the Flames face the Saltcats for the second time in 3 days. When they met on Sunday, the Flames got the better of them 3-2 as the road team. So now, let's take a look at the Saltcat batting order tonight, put together by head coach Mike Martinez. Leading things off is Xander Ferlenda at second base. Batting second is the center fielder Adam Holland. In left field tonight and batting third is Sean Lawler. Drew Patterson, the right fielder, is the cleanup man tonight. Batting fifth is the first baseman Patrick Miner. The DH Taylor Fajardo bats sixth. Christian Nakari, number 7, bats 7th. He is the third baseman. Batting 8th is the shortstop Mike Gorman. And batting 9th is the catcher Dylan Nolan. Let's take a look quickly at the Flames defense. From left to right in the outfield, Colin Matthews gets his first star of the year in left field. In center, Jack Cherno. In right, Mike Netzel. Into the infield now. On the left side of the infield, it's Jared Groskuth and Jake Evans. Groskuth at third, Evans at short. On the right side, Brian Hart at second, Trace Peterson at first base. Catching balls and strikes is Jake Zurot. And the starting pitcher tonight for the Flames is Casey Kretsch. It'll be his 6th appearance of the season, his first start of the season. And so far, he has been pretty good in 5 relief appearances. He has pitched 6 1/3 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of which was earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and he has no record to this point. So here's Xander Ferlenda, the second baseman, to lead things off for the Saltcats. An early start here from OCC Stadium tonight. First pitch from Kretsch is a breaking ball in the dirt as Ferlenda squares up the bunt but pulled it back. It's ball 1, the count 1-0 to begin the night at exactly 6:58 Eastern Standard Time. Ferlenda, one of a few returning players for the Saltcats squad, facing the Flames for the 6th time this season. As Ferlenda grounds it to Groskuth, that bounces off him to Evans. He throws the first in time for the out. For what looked to be a bad bounce to begin the game, went right to Jake Evans, and he threw it the first in time for the out. And that is the first one of the game, and it was action-packed, certainly, and a big break for the Flames. That the deflection off of Jared Groskuth went straight to a teammate. As here's the center fielder, Adam Holland. Holland has not appeared in the last 2 games for the Saltcats against the Flames. As the first pitch from Kretsch finds his own, it's strike 1. The count is 0-1. Kretsch, it's his first start of the year, as we just mentioned, and it seems to be a bullpen game tonight for the Flames, as it looks to be a spot start from Kretsch, as the pitch got away from him and got Adam Holland on the left shoulder. First base runner of the night belongs to the Syracuse Saltcats. 1 out and a runner on first now. Here is Sean Lawler, the left fielder, the leading hitter for the Saltcats squad. He is batting .353 on the year, and he has played in all 19 games. He and Xander Ferlenda are the only Saltcats to play in all 19 games. So Casey Kretsch gets the spot start tonight, which is a smart move for a couple of reasons. The first of which being that the bullpen is fresh after Gunnar Groen pitched all 9 innings yesterday, allowing only 1 run and getting the win against the Silversmiths. As the pitch is in the dirt and blocked beautifully by Jake Zurot. Ball 1, the count 1-0 to Lawler, the left-handed batter. And the other of which being this, it throws another hurdle into the Saltcats' attempt at beating the Flames tonight. Because in the first 4 games against the Saltcats, as the throw over to first is not in time, the Flames started Gabe Golob 3 times. It was his turn in the rotation all 3 times. And it was Riley Glenn's turn in the rotation for the second meeting between the 2 teams. As here's the 1-0. The runner goes. The pitch is outside. Throw down to second from Zurot is not in time. The tag not even applied. And into second with a stolen base is Adam Holland. And for Holland, that is his 9th stolen base of the season, which extends his team lead to just 2 over Mike Gorman, who is batting 8th in the Saltcat order tonight. So the count is 2-0 to Sean Lawler. as the Saltcats try to open the scoring early in this one before the Flames even have a chance to get on the scoreboard. 2-0. Pitch is low and in. Zurrock keeps it in front of him, and Lawler lost his feet on that pitch, just trying to get out of the way of it, and now he has a 3-0 count. Gabe Golub started 3 times against the Saltcats. He has not faced him since. Riley Glenn with the 1 start. This looked to be his turn in the rotation, as he usually pitches the game after Gunnar Groen. As the pitch finds the zone for Kretsch, it's strike 1, the count 3 balls and 1 strike. However, for the second game in a row, the Flames have decided to go with a spot start against the Saltcats, and of course it worked last time, too. You give the Saltcats a new look. Mike Netzel had a great outing, too, against them on Sunday. 5 innings, 3 hits, just 1 earned run. As the 3-1 to Lawler is an off-speed that just misses the zone low, and Lawler's on with a walk. Runners are at first and second with 1 away here in the top of the first inning. So that brings up the right fielder, Drew Patterson, who is not quite as dangerous of a threat to drive in runs as Sean Lawler, but he is definitely a threat. Batting .328 on the year. He is the second leading hitter for the Syracuse squad. However, he may be the best at driving in runs, as the breaking ball is blown away for ball 1 to Patterson. He leads the team with 9 RBIs on the year. In second is Taylor Fajardo with 8. Fajardo batting 6th in the order tonight. He is due up 3rd at the moment. Here's a 1-0 to Patterson. And he swings and chops it foul off himself in the batter's box. It's strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. Kretsch has missed with... Before that pitch, he missed with 5 of the last 6 pitches. We'll see if that pitch allows him to... gives him the confidence to get back in his groove tonight. As he got a quick out, and then he quickly hit Adam Holland on the left shoulder. Kretsch faked the pickoff to second, but despite Brian Hart covering the bag, Kretsch did not decide to try and pick off Holland. So he looks for the signs from Jake Zurrock. And here's the 1-1 from Kretsch. Ground ball hard towards third, picked by Grosskreutz. He tags the third base bag. He throws down to first. It's a 1-hopper that gets by Peterson. Advancing to third base is Sean Lawler. He rounds third and heads home. Picked by Netzel. Here's the throw to the plate. Zurrock's got it. The tag is in time for the outs. How about that for a double play? And the Flames get out of the inning without any damage. Still scoreless going to the bottom of the first inning here on Team Line. This is Flames Baseball. Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the bottom of the first inning between the Saltcats and the Flames. Here is tonight's Onondaga batting order put together by head coach Mike Cordero. Leading things off back in the lineup is the center fielder Jack Cherno. Batting second is the second baseman Brian Hart. The third baseman Jared Grosskreutz bats third. The right fielder Mike Netzel is the cleanup man tonight, batting fourth. In left field, Colin Matthews bats fifth. Batting sixth is the first baseman, Trace Peterson. Batting seventh is the DH, Nick Garcia. The catcher, Jake Zurot, bats eighth. And batting ninth is the shortstop, Jake Evans. We'll give you a look at the Saltcats defense in just a moment, but first, a little bit about the pitcher, Justin Hurley, on the mound tonight for the Saltcats. He is also making his first start of the season as the first one to Cherno is a fastball well up and away. Ball one, the count 1-0. Hurley has only made 2 appearances so far on the year. He has pitched 3 innings, but he has struggled in those 3 innings. 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned. As the pitch finds the zone this time, count evens up at a ball and a strike. For 4 walks, 3 Ks as well for him. He has no record so far this season. As here comes the 1-1 to Cherno, and the off-speed finds the inside corner. Hurley's finding the zone early here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He is out of Nichols College, native of Burlington, Massachusetts, graduate of Burlington High School. As here comes the 1-2 to Cherno. The fastball is outside. A waste pitch for ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hurley pitched in 12 games with Nichols College this year. 3-2 with a 6.48. As the 2-2 is grounded to the right side hole. Snagged there by Ferlenda. Here's the throw to first in time for the out. And a ground out results in the first out of the night. Taking a look now at the Saltcat defense from left to right in the outfield. Sean Lawler in left, Adam Holland in center, Drew Patterson in right. On the left side of the infield at third, it's Christian Nakari. At short, it's Mike Gorman. On the right side, Xander Ferlenda at second, Patrick Miner at first. They just combined for the first out of the game. Catching balls and strikes tonight behind home plate is Dylan Nolan. First one to Hart is hit well. Pretty deep to left field. Trailing back is Lawler. That ball is off the wall. Hart racing around first, heading for 2. The ball got away from Lawler for a second, but Hart stops at second base with the first hit of the night for either side. There goes the no-hitter on a long double from Brian Hart. He's in scoring position with 1 away, and that brings up Jared Grosguth, who can drive in runners with some power himself. A 3-run home run against the Spartans in the first inning on Saturday afternoon. And on the year for Grosguth, he's hitting .308 with 7 RBIs on the season. The 3-run home run on Saturday nearly doubled his RBI total. As Hurley looks in for the sign, he has it from the catcher Nolan. Checking on the runner at second base. Hart, the first pitch is over Grosguth. He was ducking and covering. And the pitch is inside for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. So getting back to Hurley here, he pitched 33 1/3 innings in total at Nichols College this year. Allowed 55 hits, 42 runs, though only 24 were earned as he tries to pick off Hart at second base, but nothing doing that time. Flames coming to this one, as we mentioned, with consecutive victories since the grueling loss to the Syracuse Spartans in 11 innings on Saturday. And they've done it with pitching and defense. As here comes the 1-0 from Hurley as Grosguth chops it foul to the left side up against the fence of the Flames bullpen. That's strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. 2 nights ago, a 3-2 win against the Saltcats. And then yesterday afternoon, a 3-1 gem against the Silversmiths. Gunnar Groen went the distance in that one as the 1-1's hit in the air pretty deep down the left field line, but that one hooks foul. And that is strike 2. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Definitely extra bases for sure if Grosguth hits that one fair down the left field line. Maybe enough distance to get over the fence. Looked like it was definitely going to be close. However, it's strike 2, and the count is 1-2 to Grosguth. Checking on the runner. Both middle infielders checking for a pickoff. Here's the 1-2, and a ground ball is hard to the left side, through for a base hit. Hart had to hold up initially, so he stops at third base. Grosguth is on first with a base hit, and the Flames have runners on the corners with the 1 away for Mike Netzel. Flames offense getting going early. We'll see if they can get a run or 2 home to get the lead early in this one. Now, the big play in the top of the first inning to bring up before anything happens in this at-bat, of course, was the double play to end the inning. Jared Grosskreutz tagged the third base bag. The throw was a little low and got by Peterson. Advancing to third, trying to score, was Adam Holland. Mike Netzel made the great play to back up Peterson down the right field line. As the first one to him is a breaking ball in the zone for strike one. The count is 0-1. Netzel made the great play, coming in down the right field line, backing up Peterson. He got the ball and quickly threw a strike to Jake Zurot at the plate. The tag was there just in the nick of time for a 5-3, 9-2 double play. As the off-speed dips below the zone for ball one, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. And so Netzel is the reason the Flames got out of the inning without any damage on the scoreboard. As here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball low and away. Going is Grosskreutz on the drop pitch. The throw down to second is bobbled it short by Gorman, who wasn't even at the second base bag. It's ball two. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike as Grosskreutz advances to second on the wild pitch. So that gets rid of the double play possibility for the Sulcats in the bottom of the first inning. So they can't get out of the inning with a ground ball double play unless they're able to get a runner on base while getting Netzel. As here comes the 2-1. Netzel swings and misses at the breaking ball. A good one from Hurley. It's strike 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The situation, though, stays the same at the plate if you're Netzel, except, well, now the infield is playing in a little bit for the Sulcats. Corner infielder is definitely in. As here's the 2-2. Pitches in the dirt, ball 3. Count runs full out of 3 balls and 2 strikes. For Netzel, a base hit or a deep enough fly ball scores the runner from third. A ground ball through the infield, of course, a base hit. That would score the runner. But the infielders are not playing deep enough for just a ground ball to score. As Netzel cues one off the bat to Hurley. Going to the plate is Hardy, slides under the glove of Nolan and scores. An RBI fielder's choice for Mike Netzel. And the Flames open the scoring. It's 1-0. A bold move by Brian Hart to try and go on the short chopper back to the mound to Justin Hurley. He got under the tag, and now the Flames have runners on the corners with 1 away, up 1-0 here in the first inning. So the baseball gods are favoring the Flames so far in this one. As here's Colin Matthews. First one to him is chopped foul just behind home plate. That's strike 1. The count is 0-1 to begin the at-bat. Matthews on the year, 9 of 37 at the plate. This is his 15th game of the season. Going before the pitch is Netzel. Here's the throw down to second, and Netzel is tagged out. That'll be a 1-3-6 caught stealing, as Netzel went before Hurley even tried to pick him off. And that results in the second out of the inning. So a base hit now a base hit or an error must score Jared Grosskreutz from third base. Here's the 0-1. Matthews takes an off-speed pitch over the plate for strike 2. The count is 0-2. Matthews came out of the box shaking his head just a little bit at the pitch. Either because he thought it didn't get the strike zone or it was just unhittable. Here's the 0-2. Matthews chops it towards third. Good hop for Nakari. He throws to first in time for the out, and that will retire the side. However, on an RBI from Mike Netzel, the Flames take a 1-0 lead after 1 inning of play from OCC. Welcome back to Flames Baseball here on Team Line. Time for the second inning of play between the Saltcats and the Flames. Flames ahead 1-0. Eric Moon with you on the call tonight. Brandon Ross and Morgan Chapman both are on assignment. First one of Minor is over the inside corner for strike one. The count is 0-1. Kretsch got out of the first inning with only 12 pitches, so his pitch count is looking pretty good early on. 0-1, breaky pitch stays high. It might have been inside as well on Minor. Ball one, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Minor on the year batting .265. He's played in all but one game for Syracuse. As he grounds one to the left side, played there by Jake Evans. He takes his time, throws to first in time and on target for the first out of the second inning. A 6-3 putout, and here comes the DH Taylor Fajardo. Fajardo, another good hitter, another pretty good hitter for this Saltcats squad, batting .250 on the year, 13-52 at the plate. But he has some power. Saltcats have hit 5 home runs on the year. He has hit 3 of them. 3 of those 5 belong to Fajardo. And he's driven in 8. First one him, a breaky ball in the dirt. Thought about offering that for a second, but Fajardo held back. It's ball one. The count is 1 ball and no strikes to him. Kretsch has the sign ready to deal the 1-0. Here it is. And Fajardo grounds it hard to the left side and through the hole for a base hit. First hit of the night for the Saltcats, and it belongs to Taylor Fajardo. 1 on and 1 away. And that brings up the third baseman, Christian Nakari. Now, we talked about what the Flames have done of late. For the Saltcats, they have lost 3 games in a row. They had an off day yesterday after the 3 consecutive losses over the weekend. Friday night, they dropped a 9-5 decision to the Rome Generals in Rome. Saturday, lost to Sherrill 1-0, and 3-2, of course, to the Flames on Sunday. Breaking ball is blown away for ball one. Count is 1-0 to the Saltcats' third baseman. And in total, they've lost 4 of their last 5. The 2 games prior to the weekend, they lost to the Rochester Richmond on Wednesday, though they did beat the Cortland Crush on Thursday, 6-2. Here's a 1-0. Fastball on the outside corner. It is strike one. The count evens up at a ball and a strike to Nakari. Nakari on the year has played in all but 1 game for the Saltcats. 12 of 49 at the plate. He has scored 6 runs. And of his 12 hits, 2 have gone for extra bases, 1 double, 1 triple. As Kretsch throws to first, and it gets by Peterson down the right field line. Fajardo takes a turn around second base and keeps going. It's picked up by Brian Hart. He guns it to third base, and it one-hops Jared Grosguth. However, sliding in safely without a tag is Fajardo. That'll count as an E1 on Casey Kretsch, a 2-base error on the pickoff attempt. And now suddenly, instead of a runner on first and a 1 away, the Flames are trying to preserve their lead by getting an unproductive out here with a runner on third and 1 away. Infield playing back at the moment. They will concede the run unless the ground ball goes to Grosguth at third or Kretsch on the mound. 1-1. Breaky ball just misses outside to Nakari. It's ball 2. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. Nakari, of course, also out of Nichols College, like the pitcher Justin Hurley tonight. As the 2-1 is a big foul off the catcher Zurat. Looked like a swing and a miss initially. Big cut by Nakari, but he didn't get a whole lot of it. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Batted .280 at Nichols College this year in 39 games. All of them starts. Of his 40 hits, 7 of them were doubles. As a 2-2's a swing and miss in the dirt. Zurat tags him out. And there is an unproductive out number 2. First strikeout of the night for Casey Kretsch. And the runner is still at third with 2 away. That brings up Mike Gorman, the shortstop. Gorman out of Iona College, graduate of Iona Prep High School, native of Carmel, New York. First one him in this at-bat is grounded foul down the left side. It is strike 1. The count is 0-1. Gorman in high school at Iona Prep. He was a Westchester Putnam All-Star and All-League first team. Also All-State first team during his time with Iona Prep High School. Here's the 0-1. Breaky pitch stays just high. It's ball one. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. Gorman on the year has played in 15 games coming into this one. He is 9 of 38 at the plate with a run scored and 3 RBIs. 1-1 off speed finds the outside corner. That's strike two. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Saltcats shortstop. A runner left on base for Syracuse in the first inning. 1 left on for the Flames as well. As here comes the 1-2. Pitch finds the dirt. A waste pitch from Kretsch. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 6th meeting between these two teams. They only have 2 more left after this one tonight, and they both come in July. 2-2. Hard grounder off the end of the bat towards short, picked by Evans. The throw to first, dug out of the dirt by Peterson. Then it got away from him. Scoring is Fajardo on the error. And the Saltcats have tied the game at 1. It'll be an error charged to either Jake Evans or Trace Peterson. No word on that. The throw was in the dirt. It did make it just barely. Looked like it was in the glove of Peterson and either hit the dirt and then went in his glove and came out, or it went in and out of his glove. Either way, it's an error, and the Flames, and now the Saltcats have tied the game at 1. First pitch on the inside corner, thrown out to second, gets into center field, but Evans backed up the play beautifully and kept the runner Gorman at second base. It'll just be a stolen base for him. So there's a runner on second now and 2 away. So after the single by Fajardo, he advanced to third base on a 2-base error from Casey Kretsch on a pickoff attempt. And then on either a throwing error or a catching error at first, he scores the first run of the game for Syracuse. 0-1. Pitches well high for ball 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. The batter is the catcher, Dylan Nolan. On the air, Nolan has played in 15 games to this point. He is 5 of 35 at the plate with a pair of runs scored. Of his 5 hits, though, 2 of them have gone for extra bases, both doubles. 1-1 grounded foul to the left side past the third base coach, Mike Martinez. Third base coach and head coach, Mike Martinez. It's strike 2. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. A little more difficult inning for Casey Kretsch this time around than the top of the first inning. This will be his 20th pitch right here. 1-2. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball by Nolan, and that will retire the side. However, on an error by the Flames defense, the Saltcats are able to tie the ball game at 1. Through an inning and a half, it's 1-1 between the Saltcats and the Flames here on Team Line. Set to begin the bottom of the second inning between the Flames and the Saltcats tonight. On a pair of errors, the Saltcats are able to score a run and tie the ball game up. And here is Trace Peterson to lead things off in the bottom of the second inning for Onondaga. 6-7-8 in the order against Justin Hurley, the righty. And the first one to Peterson is a fastball up and away for ball one. The count is 1-0. So the official scoring on the error that resulted in Taylor Fajardo scoring is an error on Trace Peterson, who's at the plate right now, and as the pitch finds the strike zone, counting if it's up at a ball and a strike. So the error is on Peterson at first base for not catching the ball. As the breaking ball is blown away for ball two, the count 2 balls and 1 strike to Peterson. As Brandon Ross was telling me during the break, as the pitch finds the off-speed finds the upper part of the zone, it seems like these guys, that the gloves are made of lead tonight, where they're just rock solid and they're not able to catch anything. As the off-speed pitch is swung on, missed by Peterson for strike 3 and out number 1 here in the second inning. 1 out, nobody on. Here is the designated hitter, Nick Garcia. First start as a hitter in a while for Garcia. And so far in the year, he's had a pretty good time at the plate. He's played in 8 games as a hitter, and he's batting .286. First one is a breaking ball in the dirt. That's ball 1. The count is 1-0. Quick 1-0 from Hurley is a jam shot fly ball into left field, and it hangs up for Sean Lawler. That's the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs for the pitcher Justin Hurley on the mound for the Saltcats, and here comes the catcher Jake Zurot. Zurot on the year, 6 of 35 at the plate. He has played in 11 games to this point. He has scored 3 runs, and of those 6 hits, and he's also driven in 3. Of those 6 hits, 2 for extra bases as the pitch missed outside. Ball 1, the count 1-0 to Jake. And those 2 extra base hits were 1 double and 1 triple as the pitch finds the dirt for ball 2. The count quickly 2-0 on Zurot. He started against the Saltcats on Sunday, went 0 for 3, but he did score one of the Flames' 3 runs. To a pitch just misses the lower third of the zone, and he has a quick 3-0 advantage on Hurley. And Zurot steps back in quickly, and the 3-0 fastball. Green light is not on as the fastball finds the inside corner. Zurot was taken all the way, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. With 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the second inning. 3-1. Zurot chops it up the middle. It might get through. Diving stop, though, at short by Gorman. The throw to first is in time. I spoke too soon as Mike Gorman makes the spectacular play to end the second inning. Flames go down 1-2-3. They're tied with the Saltcats at 1 after 2 innings of play from OCC Stadium. Welcome back to Flames Baseball here on Team Line. Saltcats and Flames are tied at 1 after 2 innings of play. Top of the order for Syracuse to begin the third inning. That brings up the second baseman, Xander Ferlenda, who is stepping up to the plate right now. Ferlenda is one of the returning players for the Saltcats from last season when they won the Eastern Division during the regular season. They lost to the Syracuse Spartans in the Division Championship Series, the best of 3, before the Spartans lost to the eventual champion Hornell Dodgers in the Championship Series. As the breaking ball is low, well, rather it's in the lower third of the strike zone. It's strike 1. The count is 0-1. Casey Kretsch in his third inning of tonight's start. As here comes the 0-1 to Ferlenda. The pitch is inside. A fastball is ball 1. The count is up at a ball and a strike. So we talked about it being a bullpen night for the most part. Jeff DiStefano is up in the Flames pen. Hasn't appeared in a game since Saturday against the Spartans as Ferlenda takes a big foul tip and a miss. Strike 2. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ferlenda. And a year ago, he was an all-star for the Saltcats squad. As here comes the 1-2. Pitch is up and in and got him. From the looks of it, either in the head or the left shoulder. Second hit batsman of the night for Casey Kretsch. And Ferlenda's on to lead off the third inning. That was a dangerous pitch that just got away from Kretsch. And Ferlenda luckily was able to duck out of the way for just enough so that the ball didn't get him hard. Didn't get him hard, but it didn't hurt a whole lot from the looks of it, luckily. However, a ball up and in around the head area, that's always going to hurt just a little bit. First one to Adam Holland. He scores up the bunt and pulls it back, but the pitch is over the plate regardless. Strike 1, the count is 0-1. So we mentioned that Ferlenda was an all-star last year for the Saltcats. Well, the all-star rosters, we expect a couple Flames at least to be among the all-stars for the Eastern Division, will be announced this coming Monday, July 2nd, as the throw over to first is not in time. Again, July 2nd, this coming Monday, is when the Flames All-Stars will be announced. Flames are taking on the Silversmiths in Sherrill that day. We will talk about the All-Stars as throw to first is not in time again to get Ferlenda. Brandon Ross and I will be, Morgan Chapman and I will be talking about the Flames All-Stars and any other All-Stars that made the team for the East and the West throughout the broadcast against the Silversmiths on Monday. 0-1. Runner goes. Holland scored up the line, pulled it back. Throw down to second is there, and the tag is in time for the outs. Ferlenda slid to the right of the second base bag, and the tag from Evans, despite the low throw from Zurat, was there and in time for the outs. So erase the leadoff man, the leadoff base runner for the Saltcats. And the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Ferlenda on the 2-6 caught stealing. First one to Holland. Rather, the 1-1 to Holland is a breaking ball up and in again. 2 balls and a strike. Holland was the other recipient of a hit by pitch from Casey Kretsch that came in the first inning. 2-1. Breaking ball is a beauty over the strike zone into the strike zone for strike 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes, as that last pitch was number 40 on the night for Casey. Here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball is low in the dirt, trying to get Holland to chase. Nothing doing, and the count runs full down to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Couple of players you might expect to see from the Flames. Certainly, you would expect Gunnar Groen with his spectacular pitching so far this year, as Holland chops one down the third base line foul. Picked anyways in foul territory by Jared Groskuth. Full count still with 3 balls and 2 strikes. You would expect to see Gunnar Groen. He has gone at least 6 innings 3 times already this year, and he hasn't even had. He's had about 5 or 6 starts already this year. He's only started 6 games. As the pitch gets Holland looking on the inside corner. He thought it was inside, and he started running up the first base line, but the home plate umpire said, nope, you are out. 2 away. And here is the left fielder, Sean Lawler. Lawler drew a walk in his first plate appearance. Here's the first one this time around. The fastball's outside. Ball 1. The count 1-0 to Lawler. So you expect to see Gunnar Groen perhaps. 5 games, 5 starts. 3 of them have gone at 6 innings plus. One of the best pitchers in the league to this point for sure. As the off-speed pitch just misses. Ball 2. The count 2 balls and no strikes. Another player you might see for the Flames is Mike Netzel, who has just been getting on base at will. As here comes the 2-0, and Lawler took a big swing and a miss at an off-speed. Strike 1, the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Netzel is the leading hitter for the Flames at .340, and is on base even better at .521. Easily the best on the team, too, as Lawler chops one foul down the right side. That's strike 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you might also see a couple more Flames to add to the squad, as Onondaga is one of the better teams in the league right now, as Lawler pops it up foul to the left side. It gets out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Flames are at the top half of a whole bunch of teams that are right around 500, some a game or 2 above, some a game or 2 below 500. Flames are 2 games above 500 and tied for the Rochester Ridgemen in the league, as Lawler swings and misses at a good breaking ball from Kretsch, and that will retire the side. 3 batters come up. 1 is caught stealing. The other 2 strike out for the Saltcats, and the game is tied at 1 heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the bottom of the 3rd inning between the Saltcats and the Flames. Game is tied at 1 as we begin the bottom of the 3rd inning. The leadoff man is Jake Evans. First bat of the 9th for him. 9-1-2 in the Flames order against Justin Hurley. And the first one to Evans is a pitch that's well outside. Got away from Dylan Nolan, the catcher, for just a second. Count is 1-0. There is one other player you should probably expect to see on the All-Star team in the Eastern Division from the Flames, and he's the ERA leader, as the 1-0 to Evans just misses inside. 2-0 the count. The ERA leader is Jimmy Flahive. You might see him later tonight. He pitched last against the Saltcats on Sunday. ERA is at exactly 1 as Evans chops one towards short. Good pick by Gorman. He throws to first in time for the out. 1 away here in the 3rd inning, as Justin Hurley is starting to settle in for the Saltcats on the bump. He has retired 5 batters in a row after the Flames got a run in the 1st inning with a double, a single, and an RBI fielder's choice from Mike Netzel. That brings up the top of the order, Jack Chernow, the center fielder. And Chernow, we were talking about Mike Netzel in the top half of the inning, as Chernow swings and misses at a breaking ball in the dirt. Strike 1, the count is 0-1. Chernow, second on the team at on-base percentage, not too far behind Mike Netzel. He's at .493. when it comes to on-base percentage, as he hits one pretty well into right center field. On it is Holland. He makes the catch. And that is the second out here in the third inning. 2 quick outs again to start an inning for Justin Hurley. And here comes Brian Hart, who got the rally started for the Flames that resulted in their run on the scoreboard. First pitch he saw from Hurley was a fastball right down Broadway, and he hit it. And he hit a one-hopper to the fence in straightaway left field. He takes a big cut and a miss, though, this time at the first pitch, which is an off-speed pitch from Hurley. 0-1 the count. And Hart has shown some power in other situations this year as the pitch is inside. Ball 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 17 hits for him on the year. He has 5 of those 17 are for extra bases. 1 homer, 2 triples, and 2 doubles. As the 1-1 is a breaking ball low and away. Ball 2, the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Now 18 on the year after the hit in the first inning and 3 doubles. As here comes the 2-1 from Hurley. Pitch stays high. Ball 3, the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. And Hart is the only player in this Flames squad besides Jared Grosguth and A.J. DiFilippo to hit a home run. As the 3-1 is fouled away to the right side on a good fastball from Hurley. That's strike 2. The count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we have definitely seen power from Hart. Not a whole lot from this Flames team as time is called. And it has a little bit certainly to do with the park they play at because it's pretty deep to straightaway left and right field. The gaps are pretty big. As the 3-2 is a jam shot. Bouncer to Mike Gorman. He picks it. Throw to first is just a step ahead of Brian Hart. And that will retire the side. Flames go down to 1-2-3 for the second consecutive inning. And they're tied with the Saltcats after 3 from OCC Stadium. Welcome back to Flames Baseball here on Team Line. Eric Moon with you tonight. Morgan Chapman and Brandon Ross are both on assignment. Saltcats and Flames are tied at 1 after 3 innings of play, and here is Drew Patterson, the right fielder, to lead things off in the 4th inning. First pitch to him from Casey Kretsch is a fastball that's popped up into shallow left center field. Evans, Cherno, and Matthews going after it. It is caught on a slide by Jack Cherno. Couldn't tell from here whether the ball bounced into the glove of Cherno or not, but he made the beautiful sliding catch. And that is a spectacular first out here in the 4th inning. That brings up the first baseman, Patrick Minor. And those are the kind of plays we have been seeing from the Flames defense, especially as of late and throughout this whole season. As the fastball is up and in for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. And Cherno made a sliding catch that looked a little bit like that one yesterday to end the ball game. As the off-speed finds the zone for strike 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike to Miner. And we've seen these plays from many other players besides Cherno, Adam Gordon in particular, as Miner cues it off the end of the bat, foul down the right side. It's strike 2, the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. We have seen Jake Evans make some great plays at short, Brian Hart at second base and shortstop. Some good picks out of the dirt also by the first base by Corbin Paxton at first base. Mike Netzel and Colin Matthews have shown off their arms at times. The list goes on. As the 1-2 breaky ball is in the dirt for ball 2, the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Netzel, of course, showed off the arm in the first inning to gun down Sean Lawler trying to score on an error, as the breaky ball is a beauty on the outside corner. Miner is down looking, and that is the second out already here in the 4th inning. 4th strikeout for Casey Kretsch on the mound tonight, and that brings up Taylor Fajardo. And of course, we have seen a couple huge throws that have resulted in fly-out double plays for the Flames. One from Marshall Wynn, who has not appeared since injuring his leg, as Fajardo grounds one up the middle and threw for a base hit. 2 out base runner for the Saltcats. Runner on and 2 away, as Fajardo has his second hit of the night. Marshall Wynn against Genesee on June 6th. On a throw from left field, gunned down a Genesee base runner who was trying to get back to first base, but the throw was perfect on target on the fly ball, and it resulted in a double play. And then Colin Matthews against the Spartans on June 10th made the catch in right field. The throw was right in the mitt of Grosskreutz, who gets the ball in his mitt this time on the ground ball to him from Nakari, his counterpart. The throw is to first in time for the out, and that will retire the side. Quick inning despite the base runner for Casey Kretsch, and the score remains tied at 1 heading to the bottom of the 4th. So to begin the bottom of the 4th inning between the Saltcats and the Flames here from OCC Stadium, it has been a quick-moving game to this point. We're less than an hour in, and the Flames and the Saltcats are tied at 1 here to begin the bottom of the 4th inning. Jared Grosskreutz to lead things off for the Flames, as 7 consecutive Flames hitters have been retired by Justin Hurley. First pitch breaking ball from the Saltcat righty is over the outside corner. Strike 1, the count is 0-1. Hurley threw 20 pitches in the first inning, rather 19 pitches in the first, as the 0-1 Grosskreutz is ahead on. An off-speed pitch at strike 2, the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Since then, including this inning, Hurley has thrown 25 pitches, just a little more than the number of pitches he threw in the first inning. Quick 0-2 is a swing and a miss at a breaking ball by Grosskreutz, and he goes down on 3 pitches. Hurley makes quick work of him, and there's 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That brings up Mike Netzel, who drove in the only Flames run of this ballgame so far with an RBI fielder's choice in the bottom of the first inning. There were runners on second and third at the time. First one to Netzel, a breaky ball low and in the dirt. Ball 1, the count 1-0. Netzel hit it off the end of the bat. It was a chopper right back to the mound for Hurley. He had to come off the mound to play it. Brian Hart decided to go try and score on the play from third. As the 1-0 Netzel squares up the bunt, he pulls it back on a breaky ball that's below the zone. It's strike two, the count it's ball two, the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Hart slid under the tag of Dylan Nolan and scored, and Netzel was safe at first without a throw. As the fastball from Hurley is over the plate this time, he's back in the at-bat. Strike one, the count 2 balls and 1 strike to Netzel. And here's a quick 2-1. He swings and misses at a breaking ball. It's strike two, the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the RBI for Netzel was his 6th on the year. As here comes a 2-2. Got him looking on the inside corner. Unhittable fastball from Justin Hurley paints the inside corner. His 2nd strikeout of the inning gets the 2nd out of the inning. That brings up Colin Matthews, who grounded out to third his first time up. That ended the Flames' first inning. As Hurley is really dealing now. He has retired 9 consecutive batters, and he has consecutive strikeouts. As Matthews takes a foot out of the box to get a couple of signs from Mike Cordero, and now he's back in the box, ready to go. First one of Matthews is a breaky ball low and away that finds the dirt. Ball 1, the count is 1 ball and no strikes to the Flames left fielder tonight. Time is called at the request of Matthews by the home plate umpire. Matthews in left field tonight, Netzel in right because A.J. DiFilippo gets a night off. As the 1-0 to Matthews is a big swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Strike one, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. DiFilippo can play left field or third base. Grosskreutz at third tonight, Matthews in left for the first time this season. As the 1-1 breaking ball finds the dirt. All breaking balls so far this at-bat to Matthews. The count is 2 balls and a strike. Here's a 2-1. And the fastball is chopped down the third base side. It stays in fair territory. Picked at third by Nakari, but he has no play. Matthews hustling down the line. Gets the infield hit. And the inning is extended on the first Flames base runner in the 4th inning. First base runner since the first. And here's Trace Peterson, the first baseman. Struck out swinging his first time up. He looks to extend the inning for the Flames. He gets some signs from Mike Cordero before stepping into the box, and Hurley has the sign from catcher Dylan Nolan. Throw over to first, however, is not in time. As Hurley steps back on the rubber. So Matthews with a good at-bat, a quick 4-pitch at-bat, and he's able to work an infield hit. As the first one to Peterson is a breaking ball over the plate for strike one. The count is 0-1. Third hit of the night for the Flames from Matthews. The other 2 came for Brian Hart and Jared Grosskreutz in the first inning. Saltcats on the other side have 2 hits, each team with 1 run. Here's the 0-1. Fastball's high, throw down to first, not in time, not even a tag applied by Patrick Minor. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Peterson did play in yesterday's game against the Silversmiths. He went 0 for 2 as the breaking ball's in the dirt for ball 2. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. He was the catcher in that game yesterday against Sherrill. And today he is the first baseman. He was the first baseman against the Saltcats 2 nights ago, and he went 2 for 2 with a run scored before it being pinch ran for by Reed Gibbs. 2-1. A beautiful breaky ball from Hurley finds the outside corner. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Peterson. So both Corbin Paxton and Mike Stefan, the usual first baseman for this Flames squad, get the night off as Peterson gets a much-needed rep at first base. 2-2. Fastball hit in the air to center field. Trailing back is Holland, but only taking a few steps. He makes the catch, and that will retire the slide. Flames get their first base runner since the first inning, but they strand him at first. And the game is tied at 1 after 4 innings of play. Welcome back to Flames Baseball here on Team Line, set to begin the 5th inning of play between the Saltcats and the Flames tonight. Game is tied at 1. Neither team has scored since the Saltcats tied the game at 1 in the 2nd inning. Leading things off for Syracuse is the shortstop Mike Gorman, 8-9-1 in the Saltcat order against Casey Kretsch this inning as Gorman grounds it hard but foul down the left side. It's strike 1. The count is 0-1. Kretsch out for his 5th inning of work in tonight's start out of the bullpen as Jeff DiStefano continues to warm up in the Flames pen. Here comes the 0-1 from Kretsch. Off speed is chopped foul down the third base line again, a little closer to fair territory this time, however. No balls and 2 strikes. And Kretsch has been pretty good so far. Yes, he's hit a couple batters, but he's only allowed 2 hits, and he has struck out 5 Saltcats, while only serving up 1 walk. 0-2 grounded off the glove of Kretsch. Played there by Hart with a bare hand, but he has no play. Throw to first, it was on target to Peterson, but Gorman hustling down the line works the infield hit. Just an unfortunate play where Kretsch's momentum is going the other way, to the left of where the ball is. It ticks off his glove, which slows down the momentum, and Hart has no play as a result. No error, but a hit for the Saltcats. And here's Dylan Owen, the catcher, with a runner on first and nobody out. He struck out swinging his first time up at the plate. As it's time to take a look at the NYCBL out-of-town scoreboard. But after this pitch, as the bunt is laid down by Nolan, right back to Kretsch. Here's the throw to the first. It's in time for the out. And Dylan Nolan does his job. A 1-3 sacrifice bunt. And the runner, Gorman, is in scoring position with 1 away. As the Saltcats top of the order comes up to the plate now, and Xander Ferlenda, the second baseman. Only 3 other games in action tonight in the NYCBL. 2 of them, 8 teams are playing tonight. All 6 of the 8 teams are from the Eastern Division, the other 2 from the West. As here is the first one from Kretsch to Ferlenda, and the breaking ball stays high. Ball 1, the count is 1-0. Bottom of the 9th in Liverpool, and the Syracuse Spartans are trailing 4-1 to the Cortland Crush. Spartans are leading the division. The Crush, the only team behind them in the Eastern Division, is the Syracuse Saltcats by a game. As Ferlenda chops one off the end of the bat towards short, Evans makes the play. He throws to first in time for the out. Meanwhile, heading to third base is Mike Gorman. Runner on third, 2 away on another productive out from Syracuse. That brings up the center fielder, Adam Holland. The other 2 games tonight are intra-divisional matchups between the East and the West. Both games are out west. In Rochester tonight in the top of the 3rd inning, the Ridgemen have a 2-0 lead on the Sherrill Silversmiths. And in Hornell, the Dodgers gain the best of the Rome Generals at this point, as the breaking ball just misses outside. Ball 1, the count is 1-0. Hornell beating the Generals 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And that's the next opponent for the Flames, the Rome Generals, for the first time this season. As here's the 1-0. Off speed, finds the outside corner. That's strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. Tomorrow we will not have a broadcast, but the Flames will play in their annual game in Cooperstown. They will play at the Rome Generals at Doubleday Field as the home team. Tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. As the breaking ball is low and away for ball 2. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. And then an off day for both squads before the Flames head to Rome to take on the Generals again on Friday night. Brandon Ross will be on the call for that one. That'll be our next broadcast. 2-1, a beauty on the upper third of the zone from Kretsch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Holland as Casey Kretsch is looking to get out of a jam here in the 5th inning to preserve the tie ball game. 2-2 to Holland. Surratt sets up outside. The 2-2 is hit in the air to center field. Cherno takes a couple steps in, now a couple steps back to his original position, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Leadoff man gets on for the Saltcats, but he is stranded at third base. We're halfway home from OCC Stadium. Saltcats and Flames are tied at 1. Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the bottom of the 5th inning between the Saltcats and the Flames. Bottom of the order for Onondaga to lead off this bottom of the 5th inning. Nick Garcia, the DH, will lead things off. He is 0 for 1 with a shallow flyout to the left fielder, Sean Lawler, his first time up. The left-handed batter steps in against Justin Hurley, who has been spectacular since giving up a run in the first inning for the Saltcats. As the pitch is low for ball 1, the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Garcia. That pitch was number 60 on the night for Justin Hurley, and he has been dealing for the most part, pretty much dealing since allowing the run. As here's the 1-0, Garcia takes a big swing and miss at a breaky ball that he was fooled on. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Just one base runner allowed since the RBI fielder's choice by Mike Netzel. And that was on a hit by Matthews in the last inning. As the 1-1 breaking ball misses inside, 2 balls and a strike. It was an infield hit for Matthews too, a slow bouncer down the third base line, and there was no play to be made. 2-1 is a swing and a miss by Garcia and an off-speed pitch again. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Hurley, who is pitching quickly, gets Garcia to swing and miss at the breaking ball for strike 3. Fooled him with that pitch the whole at bats, and he is down swinging to begin the 5th inning. The pace from Justin Hurley is really fast, and that's what's been working for him tonight against this Onondaga offense. As here's Jake Zurat, who grounded out to short his first time up. First one at him, a breaky ball is in there for strike 1, the count 0-1. Zurat, though, was robbed of a base hit. It was a slow roller up the middle that looked to get through the infield for a 2-out hit. As the 0-1 misses low, ball 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. However, Mike Gorman, the shortstop, made the diving stop, got up quick, and threw to first for the final out of the 2nd inning. 1-1, breaking ball finds the inside corner for strike 2. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Zurat. And Hurley reminds me a little bit of Ryan Cooper of the Silversmiths with his pace. As here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball's outside for ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Cooper had a good outing against these Flames on Friday night for Sherrill because he was working with pace. As a 2-2 is fouled away to the right side. Count still remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It wasn't necessarily that he had great pitches or great movement on his pitches. It was just the pace he worked with kept the Flames hitters off balance. As Zurat fouls it back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count remains at again as Zurat is putting together a pretty good quality at bat here. Certainly something the Flames need to try and get their offense going once again. Here's a 2-2. Fastball just misses low for ball 3, and the count runs full and out of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat here by Zurat. Here is the payoff from Hurley And the breaking ball stays high for ball 4. First walk of the night served up by Justin Hurley. And Jake Zerrod is on with one away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jake Evans, the shortstop, steps up to the plate. He grounded out to his counterpart, Mike Gorman, at the shortstop position his first time up. And he steps in with a runner on first and a one away. Significant hole on the right side of the infield with the middle infielders at double play depth. And covering the bag is the first baseman, Patrick Miner. Evans scores at the bunt, however, and the pitch is blown away in the dirt. Ball 1, the count 1-0, as Evans was able to pull it back in time. Nakari, though, the third baseman, was looking for it. He was playing on the grass right away and came in once he saw Evans square up the bunt. So the Saltcats are playing for a bunt, whether they're able to get Zerrod at second base or not if the bunt is laid down. As Evans steps in, ready for a 1-0 delivery from Hurley. He gets a sign, looks off the runner, Zerrod at first. And here's the 1-0. Evans is swinging, but he takes an off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Strike 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Evans on the year, 4 of 17 at the plate coming into this one. He has scored 4 runs on the year. And of his 4 hits, 2 of them have been doubles to the gap, 1 to left center, 1 to right center, as the throw to first is not in time. First one came against the Genesee Rapids, and that was an RBI double to score the Flames' only run in that 3-1 loss, and it was Evans' first of 2 RBIs on the year, as the 1-1 breaky ball is blown away. Ball 2, the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. And then against the Cortland Crush on June 15th, he lined one to the right center field gap for yet another double. So he does have that power to the gaps. As a 2-1 ticks off the glove of Nolan. However, it doesn't get far enough away from him for Zerrod to go to second base. Good hitter's count here for Evans, 3 balls and 1 strike. And from the looks of it, the left fielder, Sean Lawler, is picking off that left center field gap. Holland is a couple steps to the right of straightaway center field, as a 3-1 fast off-speed is over the plate for strike 2. Count runs full out of 3 balls and 2 strikes to Holland. So the outfield is open down the left field line and a little bit down the right field line, but not so much to the gaps in left and right center field, despite the big gaps here at OCC. Here's a payoff, and the pitch is low for ball 4. Evans with a quality at-bat, following the quality at-bat from Zerrod. 2 runners on and 1 away, and back to the top of the order. Here is Jack Cherno, the center fielder, who has had an 0 for 2 night so far, as the catcher Dylan Nolan heads to the mound to talk with Justin Hurley. It's been a low-scoring game so far, so any way the Flames can get runs on the board, they have to take advantage of it. Time is called again as Mike Martinez, the head coach and pitching coach also for the Saltcats squad, makes a trip to the mound to talk with Hurley and Nolan and the entire Saltcats infield. And the pitching has been good for both sides in the last game and a half between them. 1-1 score, of course, after half a game tonight, as the meeting ends on the mound. And then 3-2 2 nights ago between these two teams. Flames in the 2 games prior to this one against the Saltcats scored 3 runs in each of those 2 games. One, a 3-2 win, of course, on Sunday, and the other, their only loss against this Syracuse team, a 7-3 decision. That came on Father's Day just 9 days ago. But they can score runs against this Saltcat team. In the second meeting between the two teams this year, they put up 16. And all 16 of those runs came in the first 5 innings. And they also put up 8 against them on June 12th. As here's the first one to the lefty, Cherno. And that fastball finds the inside corner. Strike 1, the count is 0-1 to Cherno. in a bit of a slump right now as numbers have dropped noticeably a little bit, down to 306 with the average. Still a very good hitter at the plate. 15-49 at the plate this year. Still very good stats, too. As the breaking ball is up and away for ball one, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. But that's just how it is with hitters. You know, sometimes the baseball looks like a beach ball to you. Sometimes you just can't find it and you just can't hit it well. And if you hit it well, you hit it right at somebody. And it seems Cherno is in that sort of slump right now. 1-1. Over the outside corner for strike two. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. But he is still putting together quality at bats. He leads the team with 18 walks. And as we mentioned, his last time up, his on-base percentage still close to 500 at .493, which is second on the team, just behind Mike Netzel. He is in a 1-2 count here, however, against Justin Hurley, who is up to 81 pitches now. Here's a 1-2. Breaking ball low and in the dirt. Ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes, as Cherno decided not to offer at the bait out of the zone. On second base is Jake Zurot. On first is Jake Evans. Both Jakes have gotten on base with a walk. Both of them the first 2 walks of the night allowed by Justin Hurley. 2-2 to Cherno is a pitch up and in, forcing Cherno to lean back a little bit. It is ball 3. The count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you talk about quality at bats. Here's one right here from Cherno. And that's all you really have to do as a hitter at the plate to get the best chance of getting a hit at the plate and getting on base. As Cherno rips one, but foul down the right field line into the trees. That might have had home run distance down the right field line, but that was well foul, unfortunately, for the Flames. Second time tonight they've hit one foul down this time the right field line. The first one from Jared Grosguth was down the left field line. That potentially had home run distance. Here's another payoff, and the fastball gets Cherno looking on the inside corner. He goes down on a strikeout, and the runners remain at first and second with 2 away. That brings up Brian Hart for the Flames. He is 1 for 2 on the evening with a long double to the fence in left field his first time up. Grounded out to short to end the third inning. His last time up, the double came his first time. As the first one to him here is a breaky ball over the plate in the upper third of the zone for strike 1. The count is 0-1. Righty warming up in the Saltcats bullpen. That is Peter Joseph out of Northwood University. See if he comes in the next inning for Hurley. As Hart grounds one off the end of the bat towards second, a slow roller for Ferlenda. He throws to first in time for the out, and that will retire the side. The Flames get 2 runners on, but they strand them both. And after 5 innings of play, the Saltcats and the Onondaga Flames are tied at 1 here on Team Line. Welcome back to Flames Baseball here on Team Line. The Flames and the Saltcats are tied at 1 run apiece. Eric Moon with you tonight on the broadcast. Morgan Chapman and Brandon Ross are both on assignment tonight. Our next broadcast of Flames Baseball here on Team Line comes Friday night at 6:30 from DeLutis Field in Rome, New York, when the Flames face the Rome Generals for the second time this season. New pitcher for the Flames, meanwhile, is Jeff DiStefano, making his 7th appearance out of the pen this season. He has pitched 6 1/3 innings so far, allowed 10 hits, but only 1 run, and that run was unearned. He faces Sean Lawler, the left-handed batter, to lead things off. First one to him is a fastball over the inside corner. Strike 1, the count is 0-1, as DiStefano gets the meat of the Saltcat batting order, 3, 4, 5, Lawler, Patterson, and Patrick Minor. Here's the 0-1 from the lefty, and the breaking ball is low and almost in the dirt. Ball 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Great night on the mound for Casey Kretsch in his first start of the season. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He allowed 1 run, and that was not earned as Lawler hits in the air to right field. Taking a few steps to his right is Mike Netzel, and he makes the catch for the first out of the 6th inning. 1 away, and that brings up the right fielder, Drew Patterson. No runs from either side since the 2nd inning. DiStefano, in his last appearance against the Syracuse Spartans on Saturday, he pitched 1 inning, a scoreless inning, as the pitch is low for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Pitched a scoreless inning again in the 7th against the Spartans. Struck out 1, didn't allow a hit, didn't allow a walk. As the 1-0 pitches up and away. Ball 2, the count 2 balls and no strikes. A strikeout, a runner reached, a hitter reached on an error, and then a ground ball double play to end the 7th against Syracuse on Saturday. 2-0 off the end of the bat, lined right to Jake Evans. He makes the easy catch, and that is the 2nd out here in the 6th inning. Patterson now 0 for 3 on the day, and that brings up Patrick Minor. The top 5 hitters in the Saltcat order have had a tough time so far tonight. They have reached base 3 times in total in 14 plate appearances, but they have gone 0 for 11 to this point. Patrick Minor, the 5th batter in the order, at the plate now, and the fastball is just low. Ball 1, the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Minor is grounded out to short tonight, and he has also struck out looking. As here comes the 1-0. Fastball on the upper third of the zone. Strike 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Minor, of course, out of the University of Arkansas Tech. As Minor swings and misses at a breaking ball, well out in front of it for strike 2, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Graduate of White House High School, and he's a native of Tyler, Texas. As here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball just missed the outside corner. And that's ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Saltcat first baseman. DiStefano has the sign. Here's the 2-2. He swings and misses, and a breaking pitch in the dirt. DiStefano gets Minor to chase at it, and that will retire the side. Saltcats go down to 1-2-3. Game is still tied at 1 through 5.5 from OCC Stadium. Welcome back to Flames Baseball here on Team Line. Saltcats and Flames are tied at 1 after 5.5 innings of play here at OCC Stadium, the home of both of these teams. And this time in the inning, the Flames have the meat of their order. Leading off the 6th, and Jared Grosskut, the third baseman, is the leadoff man against the new pitcher. It is Peter Joseph, a side armor, as you see on our video camera, as the breaking ball is on the outside corner for strike 1. The count is 0-1 to Grosskut. Joseph, as we mentioned the last half inning, now of Northwood University, as Grosskut takes a fastball that just misses the inside corner. Ball 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Pitched in 9 games this season at Northwood University. 11 innings, 0-0 with a 2.45 ERA. And here's the 1-1. Grosskut fouls it away and out of play. Strike 2, the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Joseph, a graduate of Bill Crothers Secondary School, a native of Midland, Michigan. And for Joseph, it is his 4th appearance of the year. He has only pitched 3 2/3 innings to this point. And here's the 1-2. Fastball stays high for ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 3 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and his record is 0-1 on the season. Here's 2-2 from Joseph, and Grosskut chops it down the third base line, stays fair for Nakari. The throw to first is wide left. However, Miner keeps his foot on the bag, and it's in time despite Grosskut's attempt at sliding headfirst into first base for a potential infield single. 5-3 put out to begin the bottom of the 6th, and here's the right fielder, Mike Netzel. Netzel 0 for 2 on the night. However, he has driven in a run with an RBI fielder's choice. First one to him from Joseph is a fastball over the plate for strike 1. The count is 0-1. And the Saltcats pitching staff consists of 21 pitchers, easily the most out of any team in the NYCBL this year. So for relievers, innings sometimes are tough to come by. As the pitch is inside for ball 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. So you don't see many pitchers in general in double-digit innings to this point in the season, as Netzel swings and misses at the breaking ball for strike 2. The count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But especially, you see that with the Saltcats. Just 6 of their 21 pitchers in double digits for innings pitched. As the waste pitch is a fastball up and away for ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. However, getting innings tonight was their starter, Justin Hurley, and just like Casey Kretsch, he was fantastic in his first start of the year in 5 innings. As the 2-2 to Netzel is a hard line drive that goes foul down the left field line. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Flames have hit some scorching foul balls tonight. Third one I can think of in the first 6 innings. As the 2-2 here is popped up foul and out of play to the right side. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes once again. So Hurley for the Saltcats pitched 5 innings, allowing 3 hits, serving 2 walks. He struck out 5 just like Casey Kretsch, and allowed 1 earned run. 2-2 again, and Netzel, and he pops it up. Right side around the first base bag. Patrick Miner calling for it. He makes the catch over the head of Mike Netzel, who got to the first base bag right when the ball was coming down. Nifty play for Patrick Miner, and that is the second out here in the 6th inning. So here's Colin Matthews, who is 1 for 2 on the night. The Flames have only 1 hit since the first inning of play, and Matthews has that base hit. First one this time to him, and this time is a breaking ball outside. Ball 1, the count, 1 ball and no strikes. That was an infield hit on a slow chopper down the third base line. 1-0. Another breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes, this time up to Matthews, the left fielder. From the looks of it, we thought we might see a pinch hitter this inning, as the fastball's over the plate for strike 1. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike. From the looks of it, between innings, we might have seen a pinch hitter for Matthews. as I did not see Matthews warming up outside the Flames dugout. I saw Ernie Chirachi instead, as the pitch is outside for ball 3. The count 3 balls and 1 strike. It was Grosguth, Netzel, and Chirachi warming up outside the Flames dugout, taking a couple practice swings. But Matthews gets another at-bat here, and the 2-1 is chopped to the left side. Picked after a couple hops by Gorman. He guns it to first, not in time. And Colin Matthews on another chopper has another infield hit. 2 for him tonight, and the Flames have a 2-out base runner. That brings up the first baseman, Trace Peterson, who, like many Flames hitters, has struggled at the plate tonight against the Syracuse pitching staff. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. And it's a little perplexing that the Flames, in these last couple games against the Saltcats, have struggled against their pitchers. As the first pitch to Peterson is inside for ball 1, the count 1-0. It makes sense in one way, but it doesn't in another. In one way, the Saltcats have seen the Flames hitters now 6 times this season, so they have figured them out, which is definitely the biggest reason why the Flames are struggling against the Saltcats offensively at the moment, as the off-speed finds the zone for strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. But what makes it perplexing is the fact that the Saltcats have one of the lowest-ranking pitching staffs in the NYCBL so far this year in a few categories. As the breaking ball is outside for ball 2, the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Rather, I was looking at the Saltcats' hitting stats, which rank very low. They do have a couple lower stats. They are second to last in innings pitched. They have the second fewest in the league. They have allowed the second most walks, too. Here's the 2-1 from Joseph. Runner was going. Matthews, and Peterson hits it sky high into left center field. Holland and Lawler going after it. Lawler makes the catch, and that will retire the side. Through 6. The Saltcats and the Flames are tied at 1. This is Flames Baseball here on Team Line. Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the 7th inning between the Saltcats and the Flames. Neither team has scored since the 2nd inning, and the game is tied at 1 as a result. The Flames scored their run in the first, the Saltcats scored their run in the second, as Jeff DiStefano begins his 2nd inning of relief work tonight on the mound. And the first pitch to Taylor Fajardo is an off-speed that's low and in the dirt. Ball 1, the count is 1 ball and no strikes. DiStefano pitched a scoreless 1-2-3 inning in the 6th against the Syracuse Order with a flyout, a lineout, and a strikeout. 1-0. Fastball is high for ball 2. The count quickly 2-0 on Fajardo. And if there's one hitter not to mess with tonight in this Syracuse order, it is Taylor Fajardo. He has 2 of their 3 hits, both of them singles. And he definitely has some pop in that bat as the breaky ball is in the dirt for ball 3. That count 3 balls and no strikes. In batting practice so far this year, in many batting practices, he has shown off his power, hitting a few home runs here at OCC as he takes a big cut and a miss at a fastball on 3-0. And the count now 3 balls and 1 strike to the Saltcats DH. Nobody warming up in either bullpen as the 3-1 pitch is low for ball 4 to Fajardo. He is the only batter that the Flames pitching staff has not retired tonight. And the leadoff man is on to begin the 7th for Syracuse. That brings up the third baseman, Christian Nakari, who is 0 for 2 on the night, with a strikeout and a ground out to third. Quick update from the Eastern Division in the other game tonight between Eastern Division opponents. The Cortland Crush have beaten the Syracuse Spartans by the score of 4-1. Spartans dropped to 13-6 on the year. Crush up to 9-12. As here's the first one on Nakari. He squares up the bunt. Tried to pull it back, but it got his bat, and he fouled it away to the right side. Strike 1. The count is 0-1. As that turned out to be a mistake from Nakari. Didn't pull back on the bunt attempt in time. Grosko's still on the grass, anticipating a bunt from Nakari when he steps back in the box. DiStefano ready with the 0-1. Nakari scores up the bunt again and misses at the fastball. Zerot faked the throw to first base. And the count is quickly 0-2 on a couple failed bunt attempts by Nakari. Now he risks striking out if he fouls one away on a bunt attempt here. 0-2 quickly on the Saltcat third baseman. DiStefano checks on the runner at first, looking off the runner, and time is called by the home plate umpire just before the pitch. So the game in Liverpool results in the Spartans' lead shrinking to 2.5 games now over the Flames. Flames are 11-9 on the year, 1 game ahead of Sherrill, 2.5 behind Syracuse for the top spot in the NYCBL East, as Nakari chops one foul off his leg. Count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. And the Cortland Crush remain 2.5 back of the Flames in 5th place in the Eastern Division, 5 back of the Spartans. 0-2 pitch is a fastball outside, ball 1. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nakari, the third baseman. He has struck out swinging tonight. He has also grounded out to third base. His counterpart, Jared Grosko, at the third. DiStefano taking his time, and now the home plate umpire calls time. Second time in the last 3 pitches. That time is called after DiStefano was looking at the plate and at first back and forth. 1-2, just misses the lower third of the zone. Breaking pitch was a beauty from DiStefano, but it just dipped below the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Nakari. Here it is from DiStefano, and the fastball is well outside. Ball 3. The count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a good job in this plate appearance by Nakari after the 2 failed bunt attempts that result in an 0-2 count of working it back full and putting together a quality at bat. DiStefano, meanwhile, tries to pick off the runner Fajardo at first base. It doesn't go, however. Not even a tag applied by Trace Peterson. DiStefano taking his time with the runner on first. Another pickoff attempt. Not in time. Just checking on the runner. Fajardo telling him he's watching. Because with a full count, with 2 outs, the runner will definitely be going. However, there is nobody out in the inning, so we'll see if Fajardo goes here. Here's a payoff. Fajardo stays, and the pitch is up and away for ball 4. consecutive walks to begin the 7th for DiStefano. And there are runners on first and second with nobody out to begin the 7th inning. That brings out the pitching coach Robert Anders to talk to DiStefano, Zurot, and the entire Flames infield. There is a right-hander warming up in the Flames bullpen. That is Chris Burnett. Again, the Flames pen is completely fresh with at least a day of rest today after Gunnar Groen pitched a complete game yesterday against the Silversmiths, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits. As Robert Anders jogs back to the home plate to the third base dugout. 2 runners on and nobody out, and here's Mike Gorman in a tie ball game here in the 7th inning. And with the way this game has gone, runs are coming at a premium, so you have to take advantage whenever you can. And scoring a run as Gorman lays down the bunt this time, just in front of Zurot. His only play at first. He throws wide right. It ticks off the glove of Harden into right field. Coming around to score on the throwing error is Fajardo. At second now is Gorman. And the Saltcats take the lead. It's 2-1. So it's a sacrifice bunt from Gorman. He reaches on the throwing error from Jake Zurot, and the run scores as a result. So that'll be scored as a sac bunt, E2. And now an even dicier situation for the Flames with the runners on second and third and nobody out. Infield playing in for Onondaga against Dylan Nolan. First one to him is a breaky ball on the outside corner. That's strike 1. The count is 0-1. So Syracuse now has a 2-1 lead as they go for their second win in 6 tries against the Flames. The Flames have gotten the better of them to this point for the most part. However, the Saltcats are now out in front. 0-1. No, squares up the bunt. Played back to DiStefano. The tag is in time on the underhand toss to Zurot at the plate. Risky call by Mike Martinez, and the suicide squeeze does not pan out. That is a 1-2 fielder's choice. The run does not score, and there's 1 away in the inning. Still a difficult situation for the Flames, however, on the mound. Well, on defense, as Xander Falenda steps up to the plate at the top of the order for Syracuse, with runners on the corners and 1 away. However, the ground ball double play is now in order with Nolan at first. Falenda squaring up the bunt before DiStefano even pitches, and the breaking ball is up and away. Ball 1, the count is 1 ball and no strikes. We'll see if Falenda squares up the bunt again. That's an even riskier call to have him bunt this time around with a runner at third base, as the throw over to first from DiStefano is not in time. Suicide squeeze was unsuccessful in the last plate appearance, so it's interesting that Mike Martinez might go back to it with Falenda at the plate. Doesn't hurt to it does hurt to try if you don't succeed in this case. As the fastball finds the zone for strike 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Falenda on the night is 0 for 2. He reached on a hit batsman in the 3rd inning, though he was caught stealing. Throw over to first is not in time. 1-1 the count. Still on Falenda. Now, we mentioned he is one of the returning players for the Saltcats. A year ago, he played in 41 of the team's 42 games and hit .336. 1-1 breaking ball is up and away. Ball 2, the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. This season, however, his batting average has taken a bit of a dip at .283 now. Still a very solid batting average, as he has played in every game this year, and he has been one of the key contributors to this Saltcat offense. 2-1, rather the throw over to first is not in time. However, the Syracuse offense has fallen off quite a bit since last season when they won the Eastern Division in the regular season. They are now in last place, a game behind the Crush, and their offense, well, it's not, the stats aren't very pretty for the most part. They rank second to last in batting average and doubles. Ferletta squares up the bunt, pulls it back. The pitch is in as for a strike. Throw it out to second is cut off. Back to home plate. The ball gets away from Surratt. The run scores, and it'll turn out to be a double steal for the Saltcats, and they have another run this inning. A little small ball results in now a 3-1 advantage for Syracuse. So Ferlenda's up there now with a 2-ball, 2-strike count and a runner on second and one away. So again, a double steal as taking second was Dylan Nolan, and then as a result of the throw, Mike Gorman took home. In this game, and if you're the Saltcats especially, you score runs any way you can. As a 2-2 to Ferlenda is fouled away to the right side. That's what the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Saltcats are last in the league in runs per game, last in hits per game. Though they do score just a little over 4 runs per game. They have a little more than 7 hits per game, which are fine numbers, but not so in this league right now. As a 2-2 is a jam shot into center field. It drops in front of Cherno. Rounding third and holding up there is Nolan. The throw gets away from the pitcher, DiStefano. The throw to second is not in time. And advancing to second base on the catching error by DiStefano is Ferlenda. So after the base hit, he gets to second on the error. And there are runners on second and third and one away. 2 runs already home for Syracuse this inning, and here is Adam Hall, the center fielder. But first, Robert Anders to the mound to talk to DiStefano, the Flames infield, and Jake Surratt. And from the looks of it, a pitching change will be made. So DiStefano's out of the game. We'll tell you about the new Flames pitcher when we come back here on Team Line. Welcome back. 2 runs home for the Saltcats this inning, and the new pitcher for the Flames is Chris Burnett, making his 7th appearance on the year. He has pitched in 5 1/3 innings to this point, as he faces Adam Hollander with runners on second and third and one away. Infield is in, and the breaking ball is high for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Promising start to Jeff DiStefano's night on the mound, a scoreless 6th, but he got in a lot of trouble here in the 7th inning. As here's the 1-0. hard fastball on the outside corner. Strike one, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Couple walks, a sac bunt and an error, a fielder's choice, and then a single and an error. 4 tonight by the Flames, 4 errors. As here's the 1-1 for Burnett. A breaking ball is swung on and fouled into the mitt of Zurot. It's strike 2, the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the final numbers as of now for Jeff DiStefano, an inning and a third, 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Both runners, if they score, are charged to him. 1-2 breaking ball is high. That is ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So far, both runners that have come around to score are earned for DiStefano. As here's the 2-2 for Burnett. 90-mile-per-hour fastball just misses outside. And the count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Burnett has one of the hardest fastballs, if not the hardest fastball in this Flames squad, as he has hit 90 on the radar gun. Time is called at the request of the home plate umpire by Adam Holland. Before his rough outing against the Spartans on Saturday, he was spectacular on the mound. He was dominant for the Flames. However, he struggled his last time out, as the payoff to Holland is fouled back to the screen. Count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Against the Spartans in that outing, he didn't even last a full inning. He pitched an inning, just a third of an inning, allowing 3 runs and 2 earned. And those 2 runs resulted in a tie ball game at 7 in the 8th inning. Eventually, those 2 runs forced extra innings. Now the payoff, Holland fouls it back again. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Those 3 hits, the amount he gave up in his first 4 appearances on the year, in his first 5 innings. And then he allowed 3 hits in that last appearance against the Spartans. Ready for another payoff is Adam Holland. Here it is from Burnett again, and the breaking ball just stays high for ball 4. Third walk of the inning by Flames pitching, and the bases are loaded now with 1 away. And that brings up the leading hitter for this Saltcats squad, Sean Lawler, to the plate, as the Flames tried to desperately avoid the snowball effect this inning. 2 runs already home for Syracuse to take their first lead of the night, and a chance to bust this game wide open and extend their lead to 3 or more. First one here to Lawler is a fastball that just misses low. That's ball 1, the count 1-0 to the Syracuse left fielder. A walk in the first inning for him. He struck out swinging in the 3rd. And then in the 6th inning, in his last plate appearance, he flied out to right field. Pretty deep right field to Mike Netzel, I should mention. As here's the 1-0. Fastball is chopped hard just past the mound. Only play for Hart is first, and he gets Lawler there. However, the fielder's choice, the ground out rather, results in a run, and the Saltcats have a 4-1 lead now. RBI ground out for Sean Lawler. For Lawler, that is his 7th RBI of the year, and the Saltcats have a 4-1 lead. As here is Drew Patterson with the runners on 2nd and 3rd and 2 away. First one to him, a breaking ball catches the outside corner. That is strike 1. The count is 0-1. So that run is charged to DiStefano. He has now 3 earned runs to his name tonight. As here's the 0-1. Fastball off the back, rounded left side. Snagged by Grosskreutz out of the dirt. The throw to first is in time for the out, and that will retire the side. However, the Saltcats put together a big inning. They put a crooked number on the scoreboard. 3 runs for them. It's 4-1, heading to the 7th inning stretch. Top of the order for the Flames in the 7th inning. They suddenly have a 3-run deficit to battle back from in the final third of this game. Nick Garcia, the designated hitter, to lead things off against Peter Joseph in his 2nd inning of work tonight out of the bullpen. First one to the left-handed batter is a slow breaking ball outside. Ball 1, the count. 1 ball and no strikes. He works pretty quickly, already has the sign, the 1-0. Fastball just misses the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes. And that has been the biggest plus to this Saltcat pitching staff against the Flames tonight, to keep them off the scoreboard. Working fast to keep the Flames off guard as the pitch finds the zone this time. 2 balls and a strike. Eric Moon with you tonight here on Team Line. Morgan Chapman and Brandon Ross both on assignment tonight. Brandon Ross will have the call for the Flames and the Generals in our next broadcast as the breaking ball's blown away. 3 balls and a strike to Garcia. Brandon Ross will be on the call when the Flames take on the Generals in Rome on Friday night. In the next broadcast here on Team Line for the Flames, it's Garcia grounds one hard up the middle. Snagged at second. Going away from first is the second baseman for Lenda, and he makes a nice throw to Minor at first for the outs. Another great play by the Saltcat middle infield tonight, robbing Nick Garcia potentially of a hit. And here comes Jake Zurot. 0 for 1 on the night. Ground out to short in the 2nd inning and a walk here in the 5th inning. Once again, folks, the Flames will have a game tomorrow. They will head to Cooperstown and play the Rome Generals for the first time this year at Doubleday Field. However, we will not have a broadcast for that one, as the fastball misses just up for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. And for the Flames, it'll be the first time this year they play the Generals tomorrow, and that is their final Eastern Division opponent they will play this season, and they have 7 games against them, including 4 of the next 6 in the schedule. Zurot fouls it high and out of play to the right side. Strike 1, the count evens up at 8 ball and a strike. So the Flames will play the Generals on tomorrow and Friday. They will play the Generals again on Sunday, and then on the 4th of July here at OCC. Breaking ball from Joseph finds the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Saturday night in the Flames schedule will mark the beginning of a long string of home games as a fastball swung on missed by Zurot. He strikes out. That's the 2nd out of the inning, and here comes a pinch hitter for the Flames. Coming up to bat now is Reed Gibbs. Reed Gibbs is making his first appearance since against the Saltcats on Sunday night when he was a pinch runner. As the breaking ball finds a zone for strike 1, the count is 0-1. Flames need anything they can get on offense to get going. They've only scored one run in this game. That came in the 1st inning. 0-1. Gibbs pops it up. Right side. Foul territory. Going after is Dylan Nolan, but it gets out of play, as it got the bleachers just behind home plate. Strike 2. The count. No balls and 2 strikes. After Friday's game against Rome, the Flames will play 5 of their next 6 games here at OCC as the home team, before playing the Saltcats as the road team on July 7th. 0-2 is a slow bouncer to the left side, picked by the third baseman Akari. The throw to first is not in time. Reed Gibbs with a hustle down the first base line extends the inning for the Flames. An infield hit, their 3rd in a row, and the Flames have a runner on with 2 away, as that brings up the center fielder Jack Cherno. Only 3 hits since the 1st inning for the Flames, and they've all been infield hits to the left side of the Syracuse infield. And that's nothing on Syracuse. It's just luck for the Flames, those 3 hits. Slow choppers with runners hustling down the line. And the Flames have worked base hits out of them. First one to Cherno is a fastball that just misses outside. That's ball 1. The count 1 ball and no strikes. Cherno is 0 for 3 tonight. He grounded out to second in the 1st inning. He flied out to center in the 3rd. as he gets a couple signs from Mike Cordero before stepping back in the box. And he struck out looking in the 5th inning. 1-0. Breaking ball is Will inside on Cherno. And it's ball 2. Good hitters count here at 2 balls and no strikes to begin the plate appearance. 2 pitchers warming up in their respective bullpens. One for the Saltcats and one for the Flames. As a 2-0 Cherno is fouled away to the left side. Strike 1, the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Jake Griffin is up in the Flames pen. And from the looks of it, the lefty in the Saltcats pen is Tyler Stafersky. Here comes the throw to first from Joseph is not in time. Griffin would be the 4th pitcher of the night for the Flames, the 3rd since Casey Crutch came out after 5 innings, as Cherno fouls it away to the left side. Strike 2, the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pretty unfortunate for both pitchers, both starting pitchers really, tonight, that neither of them could get a win because it was each of their first starts of the year, and they were spectacular in 5 innings on the mound. Both were eligible for a victory, each allowing only 1 run. Casey Crutch for the Flames and Justin Hurley for the Saltcats. Throw over to first is not in time to get Reed Gibbs. They were both great in 5 innings in spot starts out of the pen, but a no decision for both. A bullpen game now, as here's the 2-2. Cherno hits in the air to center field. Holland started with a couple steps back, and now he comes in to make the catch, and that will retire the side. Flames get a base runner on, but they strand him. And after 7 innings of play, the Flames trail the Saltcats by the score of 4-1. Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the top of the 8th inning between the Syracuse Saltcats and the Onondaga Flames. Eric Moon with you on the broadcast tonight. The Morgan Chapman and Brandon Ross are on assignment. A 3-run 7th inning resulted in the Saltcats taking the lead, and the Flames haven't scored a run since the 1st inning, so it's 4-1 Syracuse heading to the 8th. As leading things off is a pinch hitter for the Saltcats. It is Chris Anderson leading things off in place of Patrick Miner against Chris Burnett. First one to him is a fastball popped up right side. Mike Stefan going after it just into the ball game, and he makes the catch in foul territory for the first out of the inning on the first pitch. There are a couple defensive changes to note for the Flames here in the top of the 8th inning. So Reed Gibbs pinch hit in the last half inning. He stays into play second base. Moving from second to short is Brian Hart. And then a straight defensive substitution for Trace Peterson at first base is Mike Stefan. Taylor Fajardo, the DH, comes up to the plate. And here is the first one to him from Burnett. Fastball is a big swing and miss. Strike one, the count is 0-1. And it's time to take another look at the out-of-town NYCBL scoreboard. We talked about the game already finalized tonight between the Crush and the Spartans. 4-1. Cortland beat the division-leading Spartans as the fastball is on the outside corner. Strike two, the count quickly 0-2 on Fajardo. And the two intra-divisional matchups out west are getting pretty late, just like this one. They're both in the bottom of the 7th innings. As here's the 0-2 fastball well outside. That ticks off the glove of Zura to the backstop. No harm, though, with nobody on base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In Rochester, the Ridgemen have a 5-0 lead on the Silversmiths. And in Hornell, the Generals and the Dodgers are tied at 1. Here's a 1-2. Fastball swung on and missed by Fajardo. He tipped it into the mid of Zurat. And that is the second out of the 8th inning very quickly. So 2 away, and here is Christian Nakari, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Nakari in the last game between these two teams was a pinch hitter for Michael DeFusco, and he's 0 for 1 as he lines one down the right field line. That is a fair ball. Drop it into the corner. Mike Netzel plays it there. Nakari runs first and heads for 2. He's in standing up with a 2-out double. 5th hit of the night for the Saltcats, and they have a runner in scoring position with 2 away. Here's the shortstop, Mike Gorman now, who has reached base in all 3 plate appearances. He's gotten pretty lucky, too. Reached on an error in the 2nd inning, a single in the 5th, and then a sac bunt, but he reached on a throwing error on that sacrifice bunt in the 7th, and he came around to score. He ended up scoring the Saltcats' 2nd of 3 runs that inning. First one from Burnett is a breaky ball that's on the inside corner. That's strike 1. The count is 0-1. Burnett, of course, came in to conclude the 7th inning. He walked the batter and then got a pair of Saltcats to ground out. Here's the 0-1. Gorman bloops one in the air to right field. Netzel charging in. He's forced to let it take a hop. Rounding third and heading home is Nakari. He scores. And Mike Gorman, have yourself a night. RBI single. And the Saltcats have put the route on now. It's 5-1. RBI hit for Mike Gorman. And that is his 4th RBI of the season. That brings up the catcher, Dylan Nolan. As the Saltcats offense has found its hitting mojo tonight. Here in the late innings, as Nolan chops one towards third, a bouncer for Groskuth. He plays in throw to first, is a little high, but Stefan snags it and touches the first base bag for the final out of the inning. But a couple of 2-out hits result in another run for the Saltcats on the scoreboard. They have a 5-1 lead over Onondaga after 7.5 innings. Couple of defensive changes for the Saltcats. Chris Anderson stays in to play left field, and moving in from left to first is Sean Lawler. New pitcher on the mound for the Saltcats is Tyler Stefersky, the left-handed batter. And he faces Brian Hart to begin the bottom of the 8th inning. Hart is 1 for 3 on the night, as there's a discussion on the mound between Nakari Stefersky and the catcher Dylan Nolan. Stefersky out of East Stroudsburg University, graduate of Scranton Prep High School and native of Archbold, Pennsylvania. 8 games and 4 starts at East Stroudsburg this year for him. And he's majoring in management there. Rather, he is majoring in business management. First one from the lefty to Hart is a fastball outside. That's ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Peter Joseph pitched 2 innings for the Saltcats in relief, as here's the 1-0. Fastball fouled away to the right side. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. 2 base runners allowed, both on infield singles, and 1 strikeout for Peter Joseph tonight. Didn't allow a run, as he and the Saltcats pitching staff has been dealing since the first inning. 1-1. Hart takes a big swing and miss at a good fastball from Stefersky. It's strike 2. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hart hit one all the way to the wall in left field his first time up. Pair of ground-out cents. Here's a 1-2. Fastball grounded hard, and that's a foul ball down the left field line. Mike Cordero's not happy about it. Neither is Brian Hart. That looked like a fair ball to me that just got over the third base bag. That home plate umpire says, that's a foul ball, sir. Not sure about that one. But again, I don't have the best eyesight, and I'm all the way up here. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hart. And after what looked like a possible extra base hit down the left field line. Here's a 1-2. Fastball fouled away to the right side and out of play. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. And if you're Hart here, you can't worry about that call anymore. You have to have a short-term memory at the plate and keep fighting in the at-bat to try and get on base and get a rally going for your team down 4. As a 1-2 is chopped foul to the left side this time. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. So he is doing exactly that, at least with the last 2 pitches. Fought off a couple tough 2-strike pitches from Stefersky. And the count remains 1-2. Here it is. Breaking ball swung on, missed for strike 3. Hart goes down swinging, and that is the first out of the 8th inning. That brings up the third baseman, Jared Groskuth. So Stefersky on the year is making his 6th appearance on the mound. He has pitched 4 1/3 innings to this point, rather 4 2/3 now after the strikeout. 8 hits, 9 runs, only 4 earned though. 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. He is 0 for 1 on the year. 0-1 on the year, rather. First one to Groskuth is a breaking ball low and in. Kept in front of by Nolan, though it bounced to his right. It is ball 1, the count 1-0. Groskuth and Brian Hart, who just struck out, are the only 2 Flames hitters to record a base hit that got past the infield tonight. As here's the 1-0. Fastball is outside. Ball 2, the count 2 balls and no strikes. Groskuth 1 for 3 on the night with a strikeout in the 4th and a ground out to 3rd and the 6th elsewhere. As here comes the 2-0. Fastball just missed high. It's a good take by Groskuth, and that's ball 3. Count 3 balls and no strikes. And if you're the Flames, you can't go into the 9th inning down 4 runs. You have to get at least to a save situation here. As the fastball misses outside, it pops out of the glove of Nolan. It's ball 4, and the Flames get a runner on here in the 8th inning. Runner on first, 1 away. Here is Mike Netzel, the right fielder. He has driven in the only Flame run on the night. as he gets some signs from head coach and third base coach Mike Cordero. Big hole on the left side of the infield as Nakari is playing towards the left field line, and the middle infielders are double play depth. First one, a Netzel, a breaky ball, low and in. Ball one, the count, 1 ball and no strikes. From the looks of it, the Saltcats are playing some no doubles defense. Of course, the first baseman Lawler has to cover the bag with the runner on first, but Nakari is covering the line. The left fielder Anderson relatively covering the line. Patterson more so down the right side, as the 1-0 is low and in. 2 balls and no strikes. A little closer this time, but still missing that spot, that part of the zone. Stefersky did. And of course, a big gap in left center field with Holland shading towards the right center gap, though that is still pretty big, with the corner outfielders relatively playing no doubles defense, as the breaking ball is low and in again. 3 balls and no strikes, and Stefersky has missed with 7 consecutive pitches. To the mound to talk to him, give some words of encouragement is Mike Gorman, and now Dylan Nolan back to the mound. Just before that, Stefersky threw the baseball back towards home plate to get a new one from the home plate umpire. Gorman back to the shortstop position, and now Dylan Nolan back to the catcher's position. The Flames have had a couple opportunities tonight. They stranded both 2 runners in the first, and then they had runners on the corners after scoring a run in the first. Rather, the 2 runners left on were in the 5th. As the pitch just misses the outside corner for ball 4. Consecutive 4-pitch walks by Stefersky, and there are 2 runners on with 1 away for Colin Matthews. As the Saltcats coach makes a visit to the mound, and he tells the infielders to stay back. All the Saltcats infielders were coming in to join in on the conversation, and he said, nope, just me, Stefersky, and Dylan Nolan on the mound. Meanwhile, there is a righty warming up in the Saltcat pen. And from the looks of it, it is Nate Fiala warming up in the Syracuse pen. Stefersky is the 3rd pitcher tonight for the Saltcats, and after striking out Brian Hart to begin the inning, he's had some trouble with the Flames' order. Rather, he's had some trouble finding the zone, and now the signal is made. Stefersky out of the ball game. From the looks of it, Nate Fiala will come into the ball game for the Saltcats. We'll tell you all about him when we come back here on Team Line. New pitcher on the mound for the Saltcats is Nate Fiala. Fiala making his 4th appearance of the year. He has pitched 7 innings to this point. 2 hits, 2 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, and no record for him on the season. He faces Colin Matthews with 2 runners on and 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning, an opportunity that the Flames absolutely have to take advantage of at this point in the game. Down 4 with now the tie-in run in the on-deck circle. And here's covering the second base bag is Mike Gorman. First one to Matthews. A pitch finds the inside corner. Strike 1. The count is 0-1. And he takes the place of Tyler Stefersky on the bump, who faced only 3 batters this inning. As Fiala has the sign ready to deal the 0-1. Here it is. And the pitch finds the lower third for strike 2. The count, no balls and 2 strikes. Stefersky struck out Brian Hart to begin the inning, but then he served up consecutive 4-pitch walks to Jared Groskuth and Mike Netzel, both on the base paths right now. As here is the 0-2 to Matthews. Fastball is up and in on him. He leaned back. The pitch was relatively close. It's ball 1, the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that is the line for Stefersky. Third of an inning, 2 walks and a strikeout. And the runners, if they score, that are on base, are charged to him if they come around. 1-2. Fastball just low. Might have gotten the dirt. It's ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Matthews. Fiala is also a pitcher at East Stroudsburg University like Stefersky. Got a lot more outings on the mound than Stefersky, though, this year. 17 games, 3 starts. As here's the 2-2. Matthews hits in the air. A pop-up. Right side. Shallow right field. Going out to get it is Ferlenda. So is Patterson. Ferlenda makes the catch. He's got a chance to double off Netzel at first, but when Lawler got it on the throw, his foot was not on the bag. Flames avoid an ending double play. However, it's a crucial out. And there are runners on first and second with 2 away now. And here's Mike Stefan for his first at-bat of the night. He came in to play first base in the top half of the inning for Trace Peterson. So getting back to Fiala, he was 5-1 with a 3.69 ERA. Again, with East Stroudsburg, a pretty nice ERA. 39 innings pitched, 20 runs, 16 earned. First one to Stefan is a breaking ball that just misses low. That's ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Fiala at East Stroudsburg is majoring in business management, just like Stefersky. Also a graduate of Scranton Prep High School. Is a native of Scranton, Pennsylvania. As here's the 1-0 to Stefan. And the pitch finds the outside corner. Strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. In high school at Scranton Prep, Fiala was a 3-year letter winner, and he was a team captain during his time with the Scranton Prep baseball team. As here's the 1-1 from the righty, and the Baricki pitch just misses the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike to Stefan. And as of late, he has had some good batting practices we've seen. For sure, he's shown off some power a bit. A few games ago, he hit a home run here at OCC, and he's been hitting them pretty close to the fence for the most part when he gets a hold of one in batting practice. See if it pans out this time. 2-1. Fastball is a beauty. Right over the middle of the plate from Fiala. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Stefan. Perhaps he wasn't expecting a fastball that time, especially one right down the middle with a 2-1 count. And now he's in a hole. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fiala looks off the runner Groskuth at second and steps off the mound, even with nobody covering that second base bag. Looking at the sign is Fiala. And here is the 2-2 to Stefan. And he swings and grounds one off the end of the bat towards short. Picked by Gorman. He can't get out of his glove. The throw to first is not in time. Stefan legs out an infield hit after the ball gets stuck in the glove of Mike Gorman for just a second. Just a split second, and it results in the bases being loaded and the Flames inning continuing. And that brings up another pinch hitter. It is Ernie Geraci making his second appearance with his new ball club, the Onondaga Flames. And what a spot he comes up to the plate with now. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And he was up in his first plate appearance of the season against the Spartans on Saturday. He hit a sac. He struck out, rather, but in his second, the bases were loaded, and he hit a sac fly. The bat breaks as he grounds one foul to the right side. And on the first pitch of the at-bat, Geraci will have to get a new wooden bat as he goes back to the dugout. So Geraci is out of Farmingdale State College. He is a native of East Moriches, New York, graduate of West Hampton Beach High School. At Farmingdale State, he is majoring in criminal justice, and he didn't start out at Farmingdale State in his college. When it comes to his college career, he was a transfer from the College of St. Rose. As here's the 0-1 from Fiala. Fastball popped him up in the infield. Calling for it is Gorman. And he makes the catch just behind the second base bag. Flames strand the bases loaded, and they still haven't scored a run since the first inning. And the Saltcats have a 5-1 advantage as a result after 8 innings of play. Welcome back to Flames Baseball here on Team Line. Eric Moon with you tonight. Morgan Chapman and Brandon Ross are both on assignment as we get set for the 9th inning of play between the Saltcats and the Flames. Syracuse ahead 5-1, and they have scored 4 runs to take the lead in the span of the last 2 innings, 3 in the 7th, and an insurance run added to the scoreboard in the 8th inning. Top of the order for Syracuse against a new pitcher, Jake Griffin, on the bump for the Flames, making his first appearance since Friday night as the breaking ball is low and outside. Ball 1, the count 1-0 to Ferlenda. Griffin was dominant in 3 innings, keeping up the Cheryl Silversmiths off the scoreboard as Ferlenda hits one in the air pretty deep to center field. Cherno chasing back, and in front of the track, he makes the catch for the first out here in the 9th inning. Long fly ball out for the first one in the 9th. Here's Adam Holland, the center fielder. So Griffin pitched 3 scoreless innings against the Silversmiths on Friday in his last appearance. On the year, this is his 9th appearance. He has pitched 14 and 2/3 innings now, 12 hits, 10 runs, 9 earned, 16 walks, 23 strikeouts, and he's 1-1 on the year. He got the win against Sherrill on Friday. As the breaking ball is on the outside corner, that is strike 1. The count is no balls and 1 strike. Though there is a dispute to his record as the breaking ball is blown away for ball 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. The win against the Saltcats on opening night, 6-2, was erroneously given to Gabe Golob. Erroneously because he pitched only 3 innings. As the pitch is outside for ball 2, the count 2 balls and 1 strike. And for a starting pitcher to get the victory, he has to pitch at least 5 innings. And Golob only pitched 3. As the fastball's up and away for ball 3, the count 3 balls and 1 strike. And Griffin was the reliever of record in that one as a result because he came in after Gabe Golob. So in reality, he has a 2-1 record on the year. 3-1, fouled away to the right side and out of play. Strike 2, the count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Griffin has been a key contributor to this dominant Flames pen so far this year as Holland fouls it back to the netting. Count runs full now to 3 balls. Well, count stays full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And taking a look at the standings now, the Flames 11-9 on the year, especially in their string of 8 wins in their last 11 games. They have relied on their bullpen, certainly for their pitching. Their pitching in general has been fantastic across the board. As another payoff to Holland is a breaking ball that stays inside for ball 4. Runner on, 1 away. Here is Sean Lawler, the first baseman. But of course, the Flames, after tonight's game, they're only halfway through their NYCBL schedule. Teams have already reached their halfway point, or they're just getting there in the next couple days. The Saltcats reach their halfway point after their next game, which is tomorrow again in Olean against the Oilers, as the pitch missed for ball 1. Count is 1-0 to Lawler. And the Flames are in a good position right now at 11-9 in second place in the Eastern Division as Lawler swings and misses at a fastball. Strike 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Spartans, of course, leading the East at 13-6. Flames 2.5 games back at 11-9. And from the looks of it, the Sherrill Silversmiths will not tie the Flames despite the result, as the throw to Stefan gets Holland in a pickle. To Hartz, and then back to Griffin, and it's a 1-3-6-1. Caught stealing, and there are now 2 outs and nobody on base. So a nice execution of the pickle by the Flames, as Griffin is able to get Holland with too big of a lead off the first base bag. And now Lawler has a 1-1 count with 2 outs and nobody on. Pitches outside for ball 2, the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Of course, Sherrill losing 5-0 against the Richmond, as we updated you on in the last inning. And the Rome Generals are the real wild card in the division when it comes to the Flames' perspective, as the pitch is blown away. 3 balls and a strike on Lawler. That game now 7-2 for the Richmond in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Generals are a wild card because they're 9-10, only a game and a half back of the Flames, as Lawler fouls it off the netting. Strike 2. The count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Because the Flames and Generals, of course, until tomorrow, they haven't met so far this year. So the meetings, but the 7 games remaining between those 2 teams, and the 5 remaining between the Flames and the Silversmiths, will really contribute heavily to how the Flames' season ends up. Whether they hang on to their second place spot in the East Division, hang on to a playoff spot, or even get past the Spartans in the East. As Lawler grounds one hard towards second, good snag by Reed Gibbs. The throw to first is in time for the out, and that will retire the side. No runs this time around for the Saltcats, but they still have a 5-1 lead going to the bottom of the 9th here at OCC. Welcome back to OCC Stadium. We're ready for the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Flames need a miracle. Put your rally caps on, folks. Flames trail by 4 here in the bottom of the ninth inning, and it's 8-9-1 in the Onondaga order to begin the bottom of the ninth. Nate Fiala stays in for the full ninth inning, perhaps. We'll see how he does on the bump for Syracuse this time around after allowing an infield hit to Mike Stefan, while also retiring 2 batters in the 8th inning in relief of Tyler Stefersky. Jake Zurot is up to lead things off in the 9th for the Flames, as time is called by the home plate umpire at the request of the pitcher Fiala, and he's calling Dylan Nolan to the mound now. Not sure what this is about. Maybe strategizing a little more against Zurot, maybe getting their signs straight, perhaps adjusting their approach here. I was neither a pitcher nor a catcher in Little League, and even then, there was no strategizing of that magnitude way back then. First one here from Fiala Zurot is a fastball over the lower third. It's strike 1. The count is no balls and 1 strike. Zurot on the night is 0 for 2. He has reached on a walk, though, as the 0-1 breaky ball stays high. Ball 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Once again, the Flames play the Rome Generals for the first time this season tomorrow from Doubleday Field in Cooperstown, as the 1-1 is a swing that Zurot wanted to hold back on, but he went around completely. It's strike 2, the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And once again, we will not have a broadcast here on Team Line for that one. Flames have an off day on Thursday before taking on the Generals again, this time in Rome on Friday night. 1-2 is lined out towards left center field, and it drops in for a base hit. Picked up in the gap by the left fielder Anderson, and Zurot has the first hit to the outfield tonight for the Flames since the first inning of play. The leadoff man is on for Onondaga, and that brings up Reed Gibbs. So if the Flames are to put together a rally here in the 9th inning, that's a good start. Reed Gibbs now at the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight with an infield hit. Flames have 7 hits on the night, and 4 of those 7 hits have stayed in the infield, as the throw to first is not in time to get Zurot. Not even a tag applied by Sean Lawler. First one to Gibbs. Fastball is over the outside corner. Strike 1, the count is no balls and 1 strike. So the Flames will play the Generals again on Friday night. 6:30 p.m. at DeLutis Field, the start in Rome, New York. Brandon Ross will be on the call for that one. As here is the 0-1. Fastball fouled back to the netting by Gibbs. That is strike 2. Count is no balls and 2 strikes. And then Saturday night, the Flames meet the Cortland Crush for the first time in a little more than 2 weeks, when the Crush comes here to OCC Stadium on a Saturday night. Flames have won 2 in a row against the Crush after losing the first 2, as the throw over to first is not in time. That game will also be right here on Team Line. And then Sunday night, the Rome Generals come to town for a 5 p.m. start against the Flames again. Monday night, a 5 p.m. start at Sherrill. 0-2. Swing and miss by Gibbs at the off-speed. He goes down swinging on 3 pitches, and that is the first out of the ninth. That brings up a pinch hitter for Jack Cherno at the plate now. It is McLean O'Connor making his first appearance with the Flames as in a home jersey tonight, after getting the start in the prior 2 games. Well, correction, this is his second, as throw to first is not in time to get Zurot. His first start on Sunday came against the Salt Cats, and he went 1 for 4 in the contest, as he takes a pitch inside and it hit him. 2 runners on now for the Flames. And that brings up Brian Hart, and the tie and run now is in the on-deck circle for Onondaga. So they're getting runners on base in these last 2 innings. but they need to bring them home now or risk losing against the Saltcats for just the second time this season. Hart has hit one to the wall tonight. He's 1 for 4. First one to him from Fiala is a fastball on the outside corner. Strike one, the count is 0-1. And it's worth mentioning that McLean O'Connor, well, UC Santa Barbara, his college, ended their semester this past Friday. O'Connor arrived with the team on Sunday and made his first start as the 0-1 is fouled back to the netting. No balls and 2 strikes. He would have arrived with the team earlier. However, he attended his sister's wedding over the weekend just before arriving with the team. So congratulations to her, first off. And secondly, welcome to the team, McLean O'Connor. His third appearance now with the Flames in 3 games. 0-2 to Hart, fouled away to the right side. That will barely get out of play into the Saltcat bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes. The count remains to Brian Hart. Hart on the year is second on the team in RBIs with 15. Just behind A.J. DiFilippo, who is in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Jared Grosguth. 0-2. Hart hits in the air, pretty deep to left field. Way back is Anderson. It's over his head, and it's over the wall off the bounce. Ground rule double for Hart. It would have scored 2, but instead it scores only 1. He gets into another ball again, however, and the Flames are back on the scoreboard. It is 5-2. Man, did he scorch that baseball. Hart has squared up Saltcat pitching more than any other hitter tonight because he's the only one who's hit it to the wall twice. And now, a meeting on the mound between the catcher Dylan Nolan and the pitcher Fiala because they are facing an even bigger threat at the plate. A, the tying run. B, A.J. DiFilippo, who is the leading RBI getter for the Flames on the year. Brian Hart just recorded his 16th. DiFilippo has 17 of them. As the Tomahawk Chop continues to play here at OCC Stadium during that break. Interesting note, the Tomahawk Chop just last week was requested by the coaching staff. Robert Anders came up here before the game on the 17th against the Saltcats, and as first off, here's the pitch to DiFilippo, and it's low for ball 1, the count 1-0. So Robert Anders came up here to tell us to play the Tomahawk Chop in the stadium whenever the Flames score a run, to try and get the crowd going as the 1-0 is fouled high off the netting. Strike 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. And I, for one, am okay with it. It has nothing to do with, anything about the Tomahawk Chop or about the Atlanta Braves or anything about that, as the pitch is high for ball 2, the count 2 balls and 1 strike. The problem with the Chop, in my opinion, at least with when the Atlanta Braves are concerned, is how much they play it. They play it every single time the Braves come up to the plate, it seems. As the 2-1 to DiFilippo is low and in. Ball 3, the count 3 balls and 1 strike. While the coaching staff requested to us, and we made it clear that we're not going to do what the Atlanta Braves do, and they made it clear to us too. So we agree on this, is that we just play it for when a run is scored, as the pitch finds the outside corner to the dismay of A.J. DiFilippo. He thought he was on with a walk. Full count now with runners on second and third, and 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Flames trail the Saltcats 5-2. And here's the payoff. DiFilippo grounds it hard, but foul down the right field line. And the count stays full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And we have seen a couple really hard hit foul balls from the Flames tonight. Jared Grosguth in the first inning hit one perhaps home run distance down the left field line. Would have scored 2. As here's another payoff. DiFilippo hits it in the air to shallow left field. Coming in to try and get his Anderson. It will fall. Scoring is O'Connor. Forced to hold up at third is Bryant Hart. And the Flames are within 2. And the tying run is on base. The tomahawk chop plays again on DeFilippo's 18th RBI of the season, which is among the top 5 highest RBI totals in the league, as a visit is made to the mound by a Saltcat coach to try and calm down Nate Fiala here in the bottom of the 9th. They don't want this one getting in the way. Saltcats at 7-12, last in the Eastern Division, trying to put together wins any way they can. They had a 5-1 lead to begin this bottom of the 9th inning, and now the Flames have the tying run on first, and they trail 5-3. And now a signal is made to the pen. New pitcher coming in for the Saltcats. We'll tell you who it is when we come back here on Team Line. This is Flames Baseball. Well, folks, if you don't have your rally caps on already, put them on, because the Flames may have a rally going right now. They have scored 2 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. They have runners at the corners with 1 away, including the tying run at first base. And here is Mike Netzel to face a new pitcher for the Saltcats. It is Ian Fago, the right-handed pitcher out of the Citadel. Pitched in 9 games for the Citadel this year, 0-1 with a 7.82. As the fastball is in there for a strike to Netzel. Count is 0-1. He relieves Nate Fiala, who pitched 1 inning in total, 4 hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. As here is the 0-1. Fastball is high to Netzel. Ball 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. On the year, Fago has pitched, this is his 6th appearance of the year. He has 1 start in his first 5. He's pitched 8 innings to this point. As the 1-1 fastball is low and away, Nolan snags it beautifully. Count now is 2 balls and 1 strike. Fago has allowed 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned. He has walked 11 and struck out 19. He has a 1-0 record with 1 save. 2-1. Runner goes from first. Netzel takes a big swing and miss. Throw it out to second is a bouncer. And DeFilippo is the tie and run is in scoring position now with 1 away. 2 ball, 2 strike count now to Netzel. And suddenly, a single could tie the ball game for Onondaga. Netzel is 0 for 3 tonight, but he has driven in a run. 2-2 pitch, swing and miss at a hard fastball from Fago. And Netzel goes down swinging for the second out here in the 9th inning. That brings up the last-ditch hope for the Flames. A pinch hitter now. It is Adam Gordon, the left-handed batter, coming up to the plate. And as of late, he has shown off some good power for the Flames at the plate. In particular, his games against Sherrill and the Spartans on Friday and Saturday. He hit for 3/4 of the cycle against the Silversmiths Friday night, including an RBI triple to add an insurance run. And then against the Spartans on Saturday, 2 for 5 with an RBI double in the first inning that missed a home run by just a foot or two. If it was a foot or two higher, it would have been a 2-run home run for him. So he has shown that power so far this year. We'll see what he does here, but from the looks of it, he will do nothing because Ian Fago is going to intentionally walk him. So 4 pitches, and Gordon will go to first base on the intentional walk. Pretty smart move considering he's been hitting well as of late, and especially with first base open. However, the risk you're taking is that the winning run will now be on base for the Flames. That's 3 balls now. Outside, Fago has to throw just one more. And that's ball forward to Gordon. That brings up Mike Stefan with a huge opportunity, to say the least. Tying run in scoring position, winning run on first. The Flames entered the inning down 5-1, and now they trail Syracuse by just 2. Stefan recorded an infield hit. His first time up, he came in as a defensive replacement in the top of the 8th inning for Trace Peterson. And we'll see what he does here. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Significant hole on the left side as the fastball is up and in for ball 1. Count is 1-0 to Stefan. And if there's one thing that Mike Cordero is thinking besides keep the game alive, get a hit, maybe get in DiFilippo at the same time. As the 1-0 fastball's in the dirt, Nolan keeps it in front of him. It's ball 2. The count 2 balls and no strikes. The one thing you're thinking is, from Mike Cordero's perspective, and he's been thinking that throughout the whole game, of course, a quality at-bat. A quality at-bat will go a long way, perhaps, for Stefan to keep the game alive, maybe tie it up for the Flames. 2-0. Fastball in the dirt again from Fago. 3 balls and no strikes. So, going back to the intentional walk, that's 7 pitches out of the zone in a row by Fago. But, of course, it's an intentional walk, so that's just a 3-0 count to Stefan. And the scorebook is 7 in a row. Here is a 3-0. Fastball on the inside corner from Fago. It's strike 1, the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Now we're here in the Flames bullpen as well, included with the crowd cheering on Stefan at the plate. As here's the 3-1. Fastball over the plate. Strike 2. Count runs forward on to 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the Flames are down to their final strike. Flames bullpen, I like to refer to them as the bullpen creatures because they're like the bleacher creatures at Yankee Stadium. Payoff. Stefan grounds it hard, but just foul down the left field line. Brian Hart had to hop out of the way of that scorching grounder. It would have scored at least 2 if it got by the third baseman Nakari, who is playing on the third base line. If it was a fair ball, though, might have gone by him. That was close. Still a 3-2 pitch to Stefan coming. Here it is. Fastball, jam shot. Slow bouncer to Nakari. He throws to first in time to get him. by just a quarter of a step. Nakari guns him down, and that ends it. On what was a close call at first base, may have been a tie, which would have gone to the runner Stefan. Mike Cordero talked to the field umpire for just a second. He now heads back to the dugout, and that will do it for this one. As for the Flames offense, it was too little, too late. As they put a rally together in the ninth, but they strand the bases loaded and drop this one 5-3 to the Syracuse Saltcats. This just the second time this season the Saltcats have beaten the Flames. Second time in the last 3 games, though, between these two teams. Saltcats improved to 8-12 on the year, and the Flames dropped to 11-10, though they remain in second place in the NYCBL Eastern Division, 3 games back of the Syracuse Spartans. Losing pitcher tonight for the Flames is Jeff DiStefano. The winning pitcher is Peter Joseph for the Saltcats. And recording the save is Ian Fago in just 2/3 of an inning. So that'll do it tonight from OCC Stadium. Saltcats get the better of the Flames tonight by the score of 5-3. I'm Eric Moon saying good night and so long for now. This was Flames Baseball here on Team Line.